A fight breaks out at a protest outside the Vancouver Art Gallery. One person is arrested. At issue, the polarizing debate over gender identity policies in BC schools. On one side, a group claiming to protect children, facing off against others who say they're only spreading fear. Emotions were running high at rallies across the country organized by a group called 1 Million March for Children. Supporters say kids are being exposed to inappropriate sexual content in classrooms. CTV's Ben Milger has more on the protests and counter-protests that in some cases turned violent.
As culture wars played out live on Metro Vancouver streets, things got heated and downright ugly. Originally billed as a 1 million march for kids, rallies across Canada were planned by people opposed to school curriculum known as SOGI on sexual orientation and gender identity.
My kids don't go to school to learn this. They go to school to learn mathematics, languages. They don't go to school to learn about SOGI.
At many events, counter-protesters vastly outnumbered and shouted down the original march, expressing solidarity with trans and queer communities.
I am part of the 2S LGBTQIA plus community, and I'm a teacher, and I believe that it is dangerous to not allow trans kids to be open and transparent about who they are, especially at school.
Vancouver police formed a line between the groups in Robson Square as the two sides yelled at each other, but they couldn't keep everyone separated. And punches and kicks were thrown before officers rushed in and shoved everyone back, putting handcuffs on this anti-SOGI protester and escorting him away. The issues went beyond school curriculum for some, also touching on the right to gender-affirming care for young people.
I'm also concerned about medical transition and the fact that it is such a risky and harmful undertaking and treatment.
Many of the counter-protesters say they felt it was important to be there because they believe the Million March for Kids is a cover for people to express homophobic views.
We all find the interests represented on the far side of the square rather threatening.
A smaller number of protesters gathered at City Hall earlier in the day, prompting Mayor Ken Sim to tweet a photo of a trans flag in his window.
And Ben joins us now. Ben, what are provincial politicians saying about these rallies?
Well, Premier David Eby expressed his unequivocal support for the trans and queer communities. BC Conservative leader John Rustad said if his party is elected, they would scrap the SOGI curriculum. And the leader of the opposition, BC United's Kevin Falcon, came under fire for appearing to try to walk a fine line, saying he respects the queer and trans community, but he also understands parents' concerns. He did, though, say if elected, BC United would keep the SOGI curriculum in place. Mi-jung?
All right, thank you, Ben.